All right, today our prayer will be given by Dr. Sandin, our pledge by Byron Chibwood, our way test by Debbie Sickles, and our song by Mr. Ellis.
Please bow with me in prayer. Father in heaven, we are grateful to you for the blessings of life that you pour upon us, the food and joy, the fellowship we have, the opportunity to serve our fellow man. We pray your hand of mercy on those who are about to get Hurricane Laura. We pray that facilities and people and supplies are mobilized to intervene in that situation. We pray in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Please face the flag and join me in the pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please join me in reciting the four-way test of the things we think, say, and do. First,
Is the truth.
second,
Is it fair to all concerned?
third,
Will it build goodwill and better friendships?
fourth.
Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
All right, the song we have today is not in your blue book. This is a special request by Roxanne. And I've played it for a long time, so if it really stinks, blame it on her.
She did
Okay? This one's called God Bless the USA. If tomorrow all the things were gone, I'd work worn all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife. I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, because the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I'll gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, see you shining sea. Going down to Houston, to New York, to LA, with pride in every American heart, we stand and say that I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. God bless the USA.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. All right, looking around, I see a couple of visitors today. Sheila's almost a regular. So
Get that girl an application.
we need to get her an application. You can dual
Good
purpose.
luck, I worked on that all last year.
I'm gonna tape it to her front door so she got to see it every day.
Wait for mine.
All right, and Dr. Liggins has some guests with him today. Would you like to introduce your guest?
Sure.
I mean, you have one that you banished. I don't know what she did.
She's not allowed to sit at the table.
Helen Williams in the back, Chief Communications, Amy Wade, and Kyle Heinzigner.
See, that's the reason I did it. I didn't want to pronounce Kyle's last name. All right, Willie, you want to see if anybody's happy today?
We got some happy people. Very good, very happy people. I need to see how happy you are. Oh my goodness, she's very happy.
I'm happy because my niece that I told you guys about that
received a 4-year scholarship to Yale University. She made it. She got there Monday, she's all moved in, and she started her quarantine Monday morning at 10:30, so we're ecstatic, so. Anyway, y'all keep her in your prayers, because she's a long way from home.
That's a good reason to be happy. We got some more happy people here.
More $2 bills, you know, I gotta get rid of those. Karen has more though if you need some more. I am so happy that last week the new president and CEO of Cornerstone at the national level doesn't know anything about Medicare at all. He's only done other types of insurance products before. And so the parent company and the girls in the home office went around him and made a decision, and they sent him to me all last week so I could train him on everything Medicare. And I'm very happy he's gone this week. Thank you.
That was worth the $2 bill. Okay, who's happy over here? There we go, Miss Roxanne.
Okay, so David did a great job on the song. Thank you, David. And it's also it was his birthday yesterday. Happy birthday. And we're gonna get some rain, hopefully.
All right, happy people, happy people. Who's happy? There we go, we got some happy people. Oh, he's just happy, Come on over here, we got some happy people over here. Hello. She's very happy.
I'm just happy for being here today. Yes. And I'm happy because God once again protected us all so that we can come back and fellowship with each other in person.
Yeah.
That's a good reason to be happy. Okay, I got somebody happy over here.
Okay, I have $1, but I think y'all really probably need to put $1 or $2 in just because I found something. Number one is I found Tammy Schaefer's. Good thing she put money in, or this might have been like a tail. Oh, we all don't have tail twisters here. Oh, there's $1. Go, Willie. Tammy Schaefer, this was your coupon that you didn't pick up in your basket from the chili auction, or Chili Fest and silent auction. So here is your $50 coupon.
Wow.
And the next thing is I had another coupon, $25 gift certificate to the Rib Crib, and the lady never came and got it, and mark that number. Mark her name, or you can't read it, and her phone number. Sorry, it had her name on it. So she never picked it up. Well, y'all know how it goes. COVID hit, taxes hit. I had to spread out on my extra little back desk in the office. It was a sight to see, but when I lifted and started tearing off some calendar pages, literally, it was March, April, May, and June, and I found these. So, but I found them twice because I had to bring them. So I'm going to auction these off. I'm not an auctioneer, but my grandmother was a square dance caller, so I think I can handle this. This is a $25 coupon. Can I get $10? We're going to start at $10. $10. Do I have $15? $15. Anybody? 15. Do I have 20? $20. Rib Crib, come on. It's changing money, but this is going back to the Rotary.
Troy said yes.
25, 30, 30, 30, 25 going what? $30. Woo! Come on, do I have 35? 35. Anybody? Come on. Just take shallow pockets for 35. $30 going once, $30 going twice. So, Tammy Schaefer. Woo, woo.
That's happy. There we go.
Good job, Tammy.
All right.
All right. You have one on that side over there.
Whoa, yeah.
Mr. Green.
Mr.
Snuck
Green.
in.
Very good. Mr. Green.
I'm happy to be here.
We're happy here. Yeah. All right. I think
I did put $1 in.
Yeah, there you go.
I have a question. I put $1 in earlier, and I sat down here, and somebody put this senior thing in front of me, and I was wondering if she really meant something about that.
I did it. It's our new brochure. Y'all let me
She's
know.
calling us all out.
Okay, we got another one over here.
I'm happy. I just want to thank everybody for their contributions they've already made for the PB Day. A lot of people have come to our office. We had it in the paper. We've had some community members stop by. And so, at the end of the month, we'll put them back out on the table and have a big picture, but this is our 4th year to do that, so it's turned out really good and everybody enjoys contributing, so thanks for doing that, I appreciate it.
There we go, all right. Oh, we got some more happy.
You can come out.
Some more happy. Yes,
If you do, you don't know either.
Oh, I'm very happy. I just want to let everybody know that yesterday, John Clark and I met with Chance Donahue, and he gave us a $6,000 check for being title sponsor for the Cotton Pass Challenge. And I have been selling sponsorships now for all this year, and it's been a very difficult sales process due to COVID-19 and some businesses going out of business, et cetera. So we were very pleased, Mr. Donahue, to continue with this tradition. This will be the 4th year that he's done this. So if you want to buy a new GMC, shop local.
Very good, very good. All right, okay, did I miss anybody? Oh, we got another one, there we go.
I'm very happy. 2 nights ago, my first calf was born on the Jackson farm. It was a surprise. Papa Bull ran the fence last December, and I have a snow white calf.
All right. There we go. We're happy for Papa Bull there. Papa Bull's happy, huh?
Okay, I was gonna grab that. This is what happens when you are president-elect, because you want to get used to the microphone and you want to take over his meetings. No, not really. I don't need any practice for that. I'll have to calm down actually when I'm president. Tammy Schaefer has just donated back this $50 coupon to Britex Bubble. I wish Tracy was here for this. She is also going to put in whatever money it would take for someone to have a very deep cleaning. So if it costs $100, she'll put in $50. If it costs an extra $150, she'll put in the extra $100. So I want y'all to think about parents or grandparents or maybe new moms, or these are natural cleaning supplies that they use, and they are highly recommended. This is Tracy Findham and her daughter Eleanor Hill. Yeah, Hill. Sorry about that. So if y'all would, let's start the bidding. This is a $50 coupon, but remember, Tammy's going to pay the other part of the bill. Okay? All right. We're going to start this one out at $50. Do I have $50? $55. Do I have $55? You guys, this could be a $200 value in the end. Do I have $55? Do you need to clean out old treasures and help at your mama's house? Do you have a friend that is down and out that might have broke their leg or something and needs help cleaning their house? We're talking deep cleaning, you guys. You know what that means? Above the doors, the baseboards, all your ceiling fans and light fixtures. Do not let Annette get
I'll
this
do
for
$55 if they'll come clean the haunted landmark.
No, I think that one's not going to be. Tammy, did you have a limit? 150? Not that, but you have a limit, like 150-ish. $60. Karen says she'll do 60. Do I have 65? 65. Do I have 70? 70. Do I have 70? 75. Do I have 80? 80. I got 80. Do I have? I have 85. Do I have 90? Do I have $90? Huh. $90. Okay, come on. This is the big one. $100. Do I have $100? Anybody need a deep cleaning? This is awesome. 100. 100 going once. No, 90 going once. 90 going twice. Sold. I needed that, but I did not have $100. Oh, thanks. I'm done.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
Good job. Thank you. Thanks for donating that back.
All right, you look around and see if you got anything else you want to sell.
All right. Let's do a little Dick Destiny.
Oh, there we go. Deck of Destiny. Okay, I need to pull a card first.
Yeah, that's what, you got a young man back there in the back. You let him pull it back there in the back.
Pull a ticket.
Pull a ticket.
Don't be cheating, Willie. Pull a ticket.
Raffle my chickens.
There we go. Yeah, okay, we got you. All right, pick a ticket. Call out the numbers one at a time and really cause them some pain when you get down to the last number.
All right. So we have 1 9
Woohoo!
1 4
Yahoo!
3 2
Yes!
0.
Oh!
Oh!
2 0. Wait a minute.
320.
No, what?
320.
I do have it somewhere for it. Woohoo! It's me right there.
It was a
That's
lot.
what gets paid forward when you donate to service above self. This is why you won.
Now I need that ace of spades.
Here, I'll fill that out.
She really did have the winning number there. Holy smokes. Okay. All right, we're going to give it a quick shuffle. Maybe a slow shuffle. And a cut. And here we go. Pick a card. Not that one here. This one there.
Okay.
You go. Okay, this is it. Get that. There you go. Okay, there she got one. Okay. There it is. She is the winner. 5 of diamonds.
My heart
5 of diamonds
nothing.
is not the winner. I'm sorry.
Tear it up.
Oh,
Me too. My heart dropped. I was like, oh, how much?
okay, we have $10 million left in the jackpot.
All right, before I call up Katie to do it, she's got some blue badges she's going to do. I do have something. I sent out an email earlier. I hope everybody got to see it. That the African region is now wild polio free. Annette and I were emailing back and forth because I've never heard it called wild polio, neither had she. So I pulled information from the CDC. There were 3 strands, type 1, type 2, and type 3. 2 and 3 had already been eradicated, and type 1 has just now been eradicated in their region. So congratulations to everybody involved, and especially the Rotary International for that. All right, Miss Katie, you have a couple blue badges. And then, Troy left me.
Troy did leave, and for a good reason.
Yes.
Okay, I would like to invite, first of all, Keith to come up here because he's actually the membership chair. And then I would like to invite Trina Cold Iron and Pam Vickers up here, please. We're gonna stand, I guess, here in order to have enough room for all of us, yeah? So, one of these ladies I left out in the cold by herself trying to finish up my presidency, and one of them came in right at the end of my presidency, actually the last week of my presidency. So I did the Zoom version of red badge to blue badge with Trina, but both of them have actually already been very involved in Rotary. They've asked questions that are extremely pertinent questions to what they can do and how they can, really support this club. And I know you've already worked several of, you even worked before you were Rotarian. I have some very great pictures of her down in the haunted house, by the way, looking fabulous in a wedding dress. A bloody wedding dress, I might add. Yes, fabulously dead. Trina will be participating in that this year as well. So this was a fast track for Trina, and I know that Pam already had the heart of a Rotarian anyway, both of them do. So I am very, very pleased, extremely happy to announce that they have both completed their red to blue badge. And as of today, Keith, why don't you guys take off those red badges? And as of today, you are officially members of the Rotary Club of Greenville. Yay! And here in just a little while, I will get you t-shirts as well, if you don't already have one. She has one. Do you have one? I'll get you yours. Don't let me forget, because I'll forget. Okay.
Thank
Y'all are good?
Hold on, don't move yet.
Don't move?
Photo with the 4 of y'all.
About the secret handshake.
Secret handshake. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you, guys.
Short came up, but he left.
Yes, I'm going to hold on to the mic for an extra minute because as outgoing president, I'm good at doing that already. So Troy just came back that I'm going to go ahead and he asked me to announce this. In case you don't know, I know we've got the bike ride coming up, but then our cigarette. Okay. We've got the bike ride coming up, but very shortly after that, everybody should know at this point what the next big fundraiser is. That's the Haunted Landmark, right? Anybody know that I'm a little obsessed with it, right? Okay. If you don't know this, there's been a flooding issue downstairs, and I have worked with a very good friend of mine, Violet Atkins with ServPro, and she is willing, once we get the water actually removed from downstairs and get the plumbing issue fixed, she is going to come in and help evacuate all of the water and get it cleaned up. But we will need volunteers, and normally somebody stands up here and says, oh, just haphazardly, whatever volunteer can do it. This year we actually need everybody, like every single person to help down there, because we've got to get the entire area cleaned up so that we can start working on updating rooms and changing rooms, or at least just getting them cleaned up so we can put actors in there. So Troy, did you have a particular way that you wanted to request?
Yeah, we're going to start doing Mondays and Wednesday nights. We're going to be up here. So starting next Monday and next Wednesday, we're going to be doing that.
Monday nights and Wednesday nights starting at 5 p.m., 5:30 p.m.? 5:30 p.m. So,
and if you get here at 6, I'll still have work for you.
Yeah. Please come, even if you can only stay for 30 minutes or an hour. We will divide up rooms and just tackle it as much as we can. And please come and help us. It is really, really bad down there. Do you want them to bring some paper towels, cleansers, rubber gloves,
Lots of
gloves,
Lots of rags and buckets.
rags and buckets, bleach. Okay, so right now we're gonna have to spray bleach, then go back and repaint some walls and really get it back to at least what it is now. It's not, when we were just down there a week ago, and once the water's gone, it's just gonna be a matter of sweeping bleach with rags and all that kind of stuff, but we just gotta get all the surfaces cleaned.
Something else, if somebody's got access to a power roller painter, that would be very useful too, because we're gonna have to touch up some walls, big areas, and using a sprayer down there is not really ideal. So if you've got a power roller, that would be awesome. And anybody that feels like they can't get down there physically, if you want to donate some gallons of black paint, that would be very useful as well.
Black. No glitter in it. Yeah.
Sounds interesting.
I know. Well, it's and all of you have been down there, right? Everybody's been down there. So you all know when the lights are on, it's fine. It's just when the lights go off that I'll get you.
Thank you. I look forward to seeing everybody down there helping out. All right, so we've run a little long. I told Dr. Liggins a while ago we're cutting into his speech, and I know he's got a lot to say. Look at him. He's like, no, I got to go. But I would like to introduce our Greenville Superintendent, Dr. Liggins, to speak to us today.
Howdy, folks.
Hi.
All right. Today, actually, I'm short and sweet, so that's quite appropriate that you took extra time. Anyway, our theme this year, we went from, if you may recall, we were big on GISD, and we really, with everything we've gone through, having to go to spring break, and now finally getting ready to come back from spring break, we figured we'd come together a little bit more and use we instead of I. But really, it has been a true team effort to get us where we are. Let me turn this on. To get us where we are. So the team, so the we is actually very appropriate. As you guys know, any great school is only as great as its community, and it really takes a team effort. And I will tell you, during this time, when we've had students that have parents who've lost their jobs, and their only way of getting food normally was through the schools, and schools were closed, and folks who've needed internet in order to do schoolwork, and having just the immense amount of people in our community and organizations who've come together and just asked, what do you need? What can we do to help? Has been overwhelming, and it's been so appreciative. And so that's one of the things I love most about our community, is that when the times get tough, we get a little bit tougher and really help each other out. And it's absolutely appreciated in the school system, because we've had some rough days, and we fully anticipate having some rough days ahead of us. But we think we have a pretty good plan, and that's really what I'd like to talk to you about today. So first of all, we're having school. We're still giving, we still have our award-winning programs, our core academics. We're having school. Our kids are still having every opportunity to learn everything they would have learned any other school year. So there's no difference in what we're offering, and our students are still getting better opportunities than I can probably say with certainty, better opportunities than any other school system our size throughout the state that they can get here in Greenville. So we're really proud to be able to do that. But we're ready for instruction. I'm telling you a little bit about how we're having instruction during COVID-19 pandemic. It depends on your grade level. So different grade levels have different options. A lot of it came from the state, and most of it came from the state actually, and some of it was local decisions that we implemented based on individual needs. But for our pre-kindergarten through second grade, they had two options. They can either stay home full-time, or they can come to school full-time. The way theirs look a little differently is if they stay at home full-time, they're having what, we all learned a new word in education. It's called, well, we knew what synchronous means, everything is synchronized, but asynchronous is the opposite of synchronous. And so they're having asynchronous instruction. What synchronous instruction is if you're at home, you log into your computer, all of the other kids that are at home are on the computer, and your teacher's on the computer as well, teaching all of you at the same time. It's school, but you're at home on a computer. Asynchronous is, if anyone's taken lately the online college classes where you have to log in every day, you may leave a comment, you have to read an article or read this chapter in a book, and everyone by midnight must sign in, make a comment, do presentations, talk about what they've learned and through the process, and you read and all that. So that's kind of what we're doing, because it's really not developmentally appropriate for a kindergartner or a pre-kindergartner or all the way up to second grade to sit in front of a computer all day. It just does not really vibe with their developmental level. So so for kindergarten through second, if they're choosing to stay home, they will have assignments that's uploaded every single day. They will hear from a teacher every single day, but not necessarily sit before a teacher and do a full lesson. A teacher may call and have 4 or 5 of them in the class come together and do a small group reading section. So they may have a 30-minute session with the teacher, but then they can go off and they can read a book with their parent at a certain time and do whatever the other curriculum items are that they're doing. And if they're at school, it's a normal school day. I'll talk about school in general and how we're dealing with our buildings during the COVID-19 pandemic. But it is really an opportunity for parents to have either option. And then we get to 3rd grade through 8th grade. For 3rd grade through 8th grade, there are 3 options. They can either stay at home full-time, they can come to school full-time, or they can be on a hybrid, which means they come every other day to school and every other day they're at home. The reason we're doing that is we're trying to get as fewer kids as possible to be in the actual buildings. Our classes are usually in 3rd and 4th grade, there's a 22-to-1 per teacher ratio. But once 5th grade through and up, some of the classes, depending on the content area, could get up to 30 kids in a classroom. And so then, and as you guys know, our classrooms aren't nearly as big as this space, and we're supposed to social distance and do all of that. So we have kids that are staying at home by parent choice, and then we have kids that are coming to school every single day. And then we have some of those kids who will be there on Monday, and another group is there on Tuesday, and Wednesday another group, so they switch back and forth. So it allows the classrooms to be a little smaller with attendance each day. They have, the ones at home will learn just as the ones at school. These kids actually will have an opportunity to sit, and so the kids that are in the classroom and the kids that are at home are all in that same class. That teacher will have a camera on them. So the kids will be in the classroom. They may have, let's say, 10 kids in the classroom and 10 kids at home. So they will teach to all 20 of those kids, 10 of them being in the class and 10 being at home, and really facilitate that. There will be aides that come in and out to help possibly with technology issues and things of that sort, but it's really, it's making sure that those students get the exact same instruction as whether they're at home or in school. And that was something we really took a lot of time to concentrate on, is because we needed to look at equity to make sure that, because every single family, and it was very difficult for a lot of families to make decisions. People would ask, well, what are you doing? What do you suggest? And it was a personal choice that each parent had to make, because each household really have their own individual dynamics. You know, you may live with an elderly person that is at very high risk, or you may live with someone that may have another issue that requires, extra medical attention. And so you couldn't really say, well, I'd send my kids to school, or I'd keep them home. It really depends on your individual. And we also wanted people to feel comfortable, and different people have different comfort levels. And so we wanted to make sure that whichever option they chose, that they understood that instruction will be the same, and we will not have to worry about your kid getting a subpar education should they come to school versus should they stay home. And then our third option is for high school, our third level. And all of high school is our largest campus. High school, we have about 1,500 kids and about 200 staff members. So, and I'm sure you guys have all seen a couple of weeks ago the school that opened up, and they showed all the kids in the hallways, and it was, it went viral. So instead of us having 1,500 kids in the hallway at one time and 200 teachers, all high school kids are rotating back and forth. So about 750 kids will have an A day and B day, and every 10 days they're at school for 5 days. But while they're home, they're also logging into their computers and taking the same courses at home, watching that teacher teach live, doing what they need to do while that teacher's in the classroom with a group of students. There are exceptions to some of those rules. For example, we're starting a cosmetology program this school year. You have to have a certain amount of hours in cosmetology in order to get your license. You have to have, for all of our CTE courses, welding, you have to have a certain amount of hours and hands-on experience. So some of those students will be there every single day for those particular courses. And so we're just running buses back and forth throughout the day. So you'll see buses throughout the day running because they're taking kids back and forth that may have one class at 10:30 and they're at home for the rest of the day. So they're picked up at 10, dropped off, and you'll see another group. So that's how we're doing instruction. And of course, all of this sounds great on paper. Yeah, we have not started yet. All of Hunt County has already started, And I kind of chuckle. We have a texting group with the other superintendents and I, and pretty much every day there's something that someone didn't think of, or that someone's like, what would you do in this situation? I don't know if you guys read, Commerce High School shut down this week. Bowls were scheduled to open last week and just they started online. They were set to have it in person and didn't start. So it's a variety of little things that are happening. But what we're doing for our kids that are coming to school, we want to make sure that we make that as a safe as environment as we possibly can. So obviously when kids are coming in, every single child, every single morning is required to do a self-screening, or their parents required to do the self-screening. The self-screening requires all of the things whenever you go to a doctor's office or you visit someplace and they ask you, do you have these symptoms? And so they're to say they do not have symptoms before they can come to school. Every single teacher and staff member every morning when entering into work have to actually sign into it's going to be a Google Doc, but sign in and say, I've self-tested myself, I have none of these symptoms. If an individual has symptoms, we're somewhat regulated by both TEA, CDC, the WHO, and Hunt County. And so if a teacher has symptoms, or if a student or an adult on campus has symptoms, they have to self-quarantine until they get a negative test saying they're not COVID positive, or they get another documentation that's saying that symptom was caused by something else. And then that's when they'll return. But any symptom that's on the CDC guidelines that's affiliated or associated with COVID-19, they will immediately have to self-quarantine. If there's a positive test, that's a whole nother story. I'll get into that in a bit. But so every morning we have that. Every single classroom has been outfitted with hand sanitizer. Every single teacher has disinfectant spray and paper towels every few steps throughout our buildings. We've really saturated it with cleaning supplies, hand washing stations, and the like, to make sure that everyone is in a place to where they can feel comfortable. As far as guests, we are not allowing, or we're limiting the amount of guests on campus. Unless absolutely necessary, most meetings, parent conferences, things of that sort will be done via Zoom or via phone. And we will, but if there is a need for a family member or guest to come on campus, they will have their temperatures taken before they're able to enter the building, and of course have to sign off that they are symptom-free on all of those items. For lunch, all of our lunch, very similar to lunch here today, will be individually wrapped. Some kids will eat in the cafeteria on certain days, 6 feet apart, which isn't the funnest way and most social way to have lunch, but they will do it that way. Some will have lunch in the classroom, and on nice days, we're encouraging them to go outside and to eat there. All of our students, grades 1 through 12, are required to wear masks. Pre-kindergarten and kindergarten are not required to wear masks, and that was a decision that we ultimately came to because we felt like we're probably putting our teachers more at risk by having the younger kids wear masks, because they'd have to remove that, they'd have to help the kids, and mucus and everything would be everywhere. So it was just best that you not do that with the younger grades. But everyone else actually is wearing masks, and we are encouraging, should parents so choose, pre-K and K2 wear them as well. But bus transportation, families will, we sent out a survey. About 80% of our families have said that they are going to carport their kids themselves. And so we are hoping that our buses will be able to have some sort of social distancing on them. We're requiring masks on the bus and trying to have families sit together, but we're not exactly sure how that's going to happen yet, because since I think we took that survey a month ago, and family situations have changed since then, and so some families that may have been able to may not be able to, and that may change throughout the year. So we're going to be very flexible and to make sure that we are accommodating people as much as possible, trying to make a situation, the best out of a bad situation. Should we have a family that should we have one individual? Let me give you an example of the chaos we're about to enter into. Organized chaos, we have a plan. If one individual, let's say a high school kid, let's say little Johnny tests positive for COVID. Every class that Johnny has been in, they have 8 classes a day, if he has a positive test, all 8 classes must quarantine for 14 days, every class that he's gone to. All 8 of those teachers must quarantine. And if Johnny's on the football team, or if he's in the band, and that's he's also, if it was after school or before school activity, that group is also quarantined. Yes, ma'am.
Well, about that, if somebody does end up with a diagnosis and then all 8 and let's assume maybe they're, the majority of them are not actually sick, well, is there something in place to continue maybe just doing it all online, or would it be everybody goes home for 2 weeks?
Everyone goes home for 2 weeks. We have a rapid response team, and they will continue to learn. No one's, within 24 hours, we're up and we're learning again. In fact, every single student is receiving a device. We partnered with, I talked earlier about the support of our community. Last night, the city council actually approved $54,000 to help us purchase hotspots for situations such as that. One of the things as far as internet is we've told families now that choose to stay home 100% of the time that you must have reliable internet. That's a requirement. So if you chose to be home, you have to be able to provide internet. But if you're exposed and we make you go home for 14 days after you've chosen to come, that's the problem we're running into. And so we're going to, very much like you will give out a library book, you sign out a library book, they'll get a hotspot for their family to go home and have internet that way. And so that was one of the purchases that the city is helping us with. But we also have our high school kids who were making stay at home every other day as well. So for those students, we're partnering with GEUS to put internet in their homes if they do not have internet. And the city actually, last night without us even asking, we were shocked, is giving us another $22,000 for that, which is very generous. Yes, ma'am.
You've got students who live in the county that aren't in the city limits?
Yes.
You just can't cover them.
Yes. With those, we are looking at also utilizing those hotspots for that. And those are through Verizon, so it's through cell towers. Any other questions?
Is there a threshold, like if Wood Commerce got to 10%, so they shut down?
Yes, we have a 10% threshold. So if 10% of an entire campus is under quarantine or, God forbid, test positive, we will shut down for 5 days to deep clean buildings and make sure things are happening. Yes, sir.
I'm sure I know the answer to this, but I'll mention it. Historically, you've had the best Veterans Day program around, and I've always attended it and looked forward to it. I suspect you won't have it this year.
We have actually, I think, planned something, believe it or not, as hard as this is going to sound, something even better.
Really?
I think it's, when I've heard the plan, I say we very usually, they just tell me what they're doing. but it is really, really going to be something special. And so,
before you got here today, I was already bemoaning the the fact that I
No.
won't get to attend?
You can look forward to something
Good,
different.
good.
Yes, obviously we won't be able to come together, but it will still be
Stay
something
tuned.
very special. Yes, sir.
Earlier you said if they, were positive, then they would have to test negative once to be able to come in. Is that once or twice? Because the standard I heard was twice. That was.
No. Like I said earlier, if you have a symptom,
Okay.
you have to test negative to come back. If you if you actually tested positive, you have to have the 2 tests to return. Yes.
So you're not actually gonna do temperature screening?
No, in fact, that was something that we discussed, and although we have these new ones that take like 10 seconds or 5 seconds to do it, when you have literally 50 kids getting off of a bus, those 5 seconds add up quite quickly, and it was just a matter of supervision and where the kids go and how are they. So no, so we are regularly asking parents to make sure that our daily. We also, in our nursing clinics, we have nurses on every single campus, and each nurse has taken over a classroom in addition to their clinic. And so there will be well areas and there will be sick areas. So any kid that has any type, because we have kids that they're diabetic, they come in to get their shot per day, or they are asthmatic and they come take a puff after recess or whatever. And then you have kids that come in because they're sick or they're vomiting or they have a fever. And so those kids will be separated according to what their symptoms are, so that we're not exposing kids to one another.
Have you increased that clinical staff any?
We have not at this point. Usually it's been pretty sustainable. We've been able, because we've had flu season really test us, so we're assuming it will be just like the flu season. But we've tested it through that, and so we think we'll be able to cope. Katie?
So regarding sports, I don't know, I haven't read anything in papers or anything, so are sports still on for this district and other districts that you would normally play against? And
That's a great question. We are governed by I forget what it stands for, but UIL. And the UIL has there's 6 levels of classes of districts. There's 1A all the way up to 6A. Start 1A as the smaller districts all the way up to 6A, the large districts. We are a 5A. The UIL divided up 1 through 4A and 5 and 6 in a different category. So according to the UIL, 1 through 4 are playing now. They're able to practice, they're able to play, they're able to do everything. Excuse me. I personally think they did that with the smaller schools to kind of guinea pigs to see how it would work out. But we're not, 5A and 6A, we cannot start playing until September 8th. But now we're still able to to practice. There's protocols in place. Kids are still not practice, they're not able to practice, they're able to what's the word? Work out. Condition, yes, that's what it is. And so they're conditioning now, but they're not able to practice until the 8th.
And they will allow 50% capacity.
Oh, and at games were only allowing 50% capacity in the stands, and Greenville ISD were only allowing coaches and athletes to travel to away games. So no drill team, no cheer, no band at away games. But what we are doing is for our JV games, because Friday night is so JV and varsity switch at home once every week. So the weeks that we are away games, JV is playing at home. And so people will be able to, we're gonna have that on Thursday nights where the band can play at JV games and the cheerleaders and all of that. So you can come out on Thursday night at home and still see all of that. Any other questions?
When do you start this?
We start September 8th. We have about 53% of our families have chosen in person, 7% have chosen hybrid, and 40% at home. And we're going to allow that. after 2 weeks, parents will get to see if they like it or dislike it, and they'll be able to switch at that point. So pray for us.
So no matter what, the high school students have to go
Hybrid. Yes, no matter what, they're hybrid. Or they can stay home 100%.
Even if they're in sports.
Even if they're in sports, yes.
Sports will go every day though.
Yeah, that's one that's on every day. We are in Texas after all. Exactly, yeah.
That's the way it is. So did you have the video?
Oh, we do have a video.
Okay.
Thank you. Oh, I forgot to tell you, the school board lowered your taxes almost 6 cents. That's pretty amazing. The school board voted on it, but in all honesty, it was compression through the state. And so our property taxes raised 9%. And so according to the new calculation, it compressed the tax rate down that much. Other districts, if they grew greater amounts, their tax rate would go down greater. I know Bowles, for example, grew 24% in their taxable values in the ISD, and so their tax rate would plummet a little bit more. And the state, this was a law that was created a couple of years ago. They're meeting again next year because the state is making up the difference. But we do know that that will probably change again because the state's not collecting as much money as they anticipated because this was done before COVID. And here's the video.
Greenville ISD is ready to start the new year with robust instruction to enhance learning and safety, and cleaning precautions to keep students and staff safe. For more than 100 years, we've been in the learning business, and we've helped our graduates prepare for success in college, career, and the military. Whether it's online or in person, we're here to teach our students. We're here for our families, and we're here to stay.
If we look back at what we have prepared over the summer, a lot of teachers have been working really, really hard to get a plan that would fit all of your child's needs. I know under normal circumstances, we would all say we want our kids to be at school, but these are not normal circumstances. And although we hope we get there again, right now we have to do what we have to do to continue an education for our children. Starting school back up in September, we have had some time to prepare. GISD has a wonderful group of educators that are going in and working to prepare a good method, whether it's through online or in the classroom, and we are going to take all the necessary precautions to make sure that your child continues to learn in the safest way possible. So I can assure you, as an educator and as a former GISD student, that your child's safety and education is our #1 priority. Whether it's remotely or in the classroom, we will do everything in our power to continue that rigorous learning and to continue to prepare them for our world.
Last year when we shut down school, things got pretty tough on us as far as educating your child. We had the online that we were trying to do, and then we had the packets. So this year, we had a little time and we were able to put some things together to make this year a lot more successful with hybrid models and online models that now we feel that we're going to be able to put our kids in a position to be successful.
I've been with Greenville for 11 years. Started out as a teacher at Carver Elementary, was a Carver Cool Cat. And here at Greenville ISD, we know that a robust online learning program requires a robust infrastructure. And for that reason, we have been working diligently this summer to develop a platform that works for both students, teachers, and families. This summer we've been working to add public access Wi-Fi to each campus. We are adding webcams to each classroom. We are also adding iPads for every LP Waters student. Additionally, by popular request, we are adding Seesaw for pre-K through 2nd grade as an online learning platform. And then we are also building a robust online learning program for teachers that will also include training for parents and students.
My name is Noelle Bars, and I'm the Director of Health Services for Greenville ISD. And I want to let you all know that we are taking this pandemic very, very seriously. And we are staying up to date on all the steps that we need to take this fall to keep our students, staff, and families safe. Our staff will be required to self-screen and wear a face covering every day. Students will be screened at home by their parents and also required to wear a face covering, first graders and up. We are also very fortunate to have nurses on every campus who will assess students and staff who display symptoms of COVID-19 or illness throughout the school day. Hand washing will be encouraged several times throughout the school day with both staff and students. We will practice social distancing as appropriate and according to the CDC. There will be frequent cleaning of the campus. Every campus will be cleaned every day, and we will have cleaning throughout the day on frequently touched surfaces. We are in constant contact with our health experts in the county. Parents and staff will be informed immediately of any positive COVID students or staff on campus. Anyone with COVID will be quarantining at home via the CDC for 14 days, and a letter of good health will be required to return to school for both students and our staff. I have been a school nurse for 22 years. This is my 7th year with Greenville ISD, and I am here to stay.
I am Crystal Lopez, a 5th grade teacher at George Washington Carver Elementary, a lifelong proud GISD student, and I am here to stay.
I am Shannon Falk, and I'm here to stay.
And I am Heath Jarvis, and I'm here to stay.
Thank y'all for keeping our kids safe. I don't know about this 50% for football season. I don't know how that's gonna work out for me. Season tickets is killing me, but it'll be great.
Y'all pray for us.
Yeah, it'll be great. And for those of y'all that didn't get an email from the chamber, there's free COVID testing at the Fletcher Warren Center, 9 to 2, August 26th and 27th. If you feel like you need that nose probe.
Oh, it's just awesome.
Please take time and bust your tables and help pick up. This ends our day at Rotary. Thank y'all.
Somebody help take the peanut butter and jelly. Yeah, that would.
This video has been brought to you by GEUS 34. GEUS is your community-owned provider for electric, internet, cable TV, and true local programming.